The massive blue and red hull of the SCF Primorye arrived in Vadinar, western Gujarat, earlier this month. SCF Primorye is a liquid bulk carrier built in 2009 and sailing under the Liberian flag. The 84,000-ton oil tanker had arrived from Ust-Luga, a Russian settlement near the border with Estonia, which raised a growing concern that India is being used as a potential backdoor into Europe for Russian oil supplies. About Nayara Energy. India has approximately 250 million metric ton per annum of refining capacity, making it Asia's second largest, and is striving to become one of the top 5 refining complexes in the world. Over 60% of crude docks in Gujarat's Gulf of Kutch, making it one of the most strategic locations. Inside the Gulf of Kutch, Vadinar, a small coastal town in the Devbhoomi Dwarka district, is home to one of the most complex refineries in the world. Nayara Energy's Vadinar refinery started commercial production in May 2008 and is today India's second largest single-site refinery. The company operates a refinery known as Vadinar Oil Refinery at Vadinar in Gujarat, which is capable of processing crude from sweet to sour and light to heavy into Euro-grade petroleum products. The company operates as a joint venture between Rosneft Oil Company, Trafigura Private Limited, and UCPP Investments Limited. It is capable of processing some of the toughest crudes and yet produce high-quality Euro 4 and Euro 6 grade products, and can produce high-quality Bharat Stage BS6 compliant fuels that meet international standards. Nayara Energy is headquartered in Maharashtra, India. Russia's oil might enter Europe through India. The arrival of the tanker coincided with India's increased imports of Russian oil. The country's willingness to purchase Russian crude at discounts of up to 30% has thwarted attempts by the US, Europe, and the UK to reduce imports in an effort to drain Russian President Vladimir Putin's war coffers. In May, Russia earned $20 billion from oil exports, returning to pre-invasion levels. Given the increase in imports, there is growing concern that India is being used as a potential backdoor into Europe for Russian oil supplies. Prior to the invasion of Ukraine, India's imports of Russian oil were negligible due to high freight costs. However, Russian oil imports into India have recently increased. After a year gap, just before international restrictions on exports were imposed, Vadinar's owner, Nayara, purchased Russian oil from Trafigura in March, buying about 1.8 million barrels. However, the volumes that India has been buying and exporting indicate that some of the refined Russian crude may eventually be used in Europe's filling stations. It is unclear where the Russian crude brought in by the SCF Primorye will be used. The owners of Vadinar declined to comment on the shipment or whether it was transporting Russian oil to Europe. The trio of state refiners, Indian Oil Corporation, Hindustan Petroleum, and Bharat Petroleum, also declined to answer questions on whether they were importing Russian oil or exporting it to Europe. But Putin told the Business Summit this week that Russian oil supplies to China and India are growing noticeably. Industry sources said, tracking Russian oil shipments to Europe via India is proving difficult, because several shipments of crude from different countries will arrive at a port and blended together, and it is nearly impossible to track a hydrocarbon. According to sources, shippers use a variety of methods to conceal the origin of Russian oil. They are paying in Chinese currency as a financial option rather than dollar. Since February's invasion of Ukraine, yuan-ruble trading volumes have increased 1,067%. Transfers of oil cargoes from ship to ship have also increased, implying that oil is being transferred from Russian-flagged vessels to other ships. Another option is to avoid using currency and instead trade oil for other products such as gold, food, or weapons. Iran has previously accepted payment in gold rather than dollars. According to the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, the Jamnagar refinery in Gujarat received 27% of its oil from Russia in May, up from 5% in April. It stated that approximately 20% of Jamnagar's exported cargoes left for the Suez Canal, indicating that they were bound for Europe or the United States. Also, shipments were sent to France, Italy, and the United Kingdom, but there is no evidence that these shipments contained Russian oil. The commercial reasoning is understandable, given India's 1.4 billion person population, which necessitates the search for low-cost supplies. While the oil price remains high, and consumers are under pressure at the pump, the risk of a Western backlash will be balanced against the cost of cheap oil. And trade with Russia continues to be a political balancing act for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.